going on, Jerome? So still at an undisclosed location, but also something that is disclosed with the Minnesota Vikings is the future franchise quarterback JJ McCarthy, the pride of Michigan. Now, a lot of people have raised eyebrows. Oh, he's still with the thirds. It's OTAs. Don't worry about it, man. And also, I truly believe that McCarthy is in the best situation of any of the rookie quarterbacks because he doesn't have that immediate pressure to play right away. The Vikings didn't give up 3 first-round picks to go get him. He isn't a top 3 pick. The Vikings did a minuscule, itsy-bitsy trade-up for him. And yes, he is the highest drafted quarterback in team history, but Kevin O'Connell, Kwesi, they're the adults. They have a plan, and he's not going to be touching that field until he's ready. Long story longer, June Jones. So name sounds familiar. He's a legend, man. Like, June Jones is one of the pioneers of the run-and-shoot offenses. 4 wide, just slinging the ball all over the yard. And June Jones is interesting, man. So he has an extremely interesting resume. So he was an NFL quarterback for the Falcons back in the day. And then he's one of the most prolific college coaches of all time, even though he coached the Falcons for 3 seasons. But he was part of the Hawaiian football renaissance. Pictured here with Colt Brennan, rest in power, Timmy Chang. Those guys were just getting after things, man. And air raid and run shoot are sort of one and the same, except not particularly. But June Jones is one of the pioneers of the passing game, and also love what he did at SMU. He helped him to the first bowl win ever since the death penalty. It's just amazing. So safe to say June Jones knows ball. And June Jones had some pretty strong opinions on Vikings rookie quarterback JJ McCarthy. He was on the Sports Gambling Podcast on the 10th. And so first off, he led off with he doesn't think that Caleb Williams is going to succeed in Chicago because of the USC offense being a little bit more RPO. Now, I do think that Caleb Williams could function in any offense, but also I think that what makes him great is his ability to play hero ball, but also I think that's going to be to his detriment at the NFL level. But focusing on McCarthy, this is what he said about JJ. Quote, the guy I think will have the most success is the kid from Michigan, JJ McCarthy, that went to Minnesota. He was basically in the type of system that he'll be asked to play in when he gets to the pros, and I think his accuracy was really good, and he can make all the throws. So I kind of like him the best of all the guys in the class this year. Ooh, that's high praise. Now, again, you should really take this to the bank because June Jones has no dog in this fight. Like, he has no agenda, he has no biases, he has no ties to these any of these players or teams. Well, except for Atlanta, but but I mean, he's giving his honest opinion. And June Jones definitely knows a thing or two about the passing game and especially quarterbacks. And also, you have to respect guys like June Jones and Mike Leach because they weren't getting the 4 or 5 star recruit first-round quarterback-type guys to their system, but they're putting up insane numbers and yards because of their coaching, because of putting the quarterbacks in spots where they can succeed, and that's exactly what Kevin O'Connell is going to do with J.J. McCarthy. And yeah, I love me some Jane Daniels, I love me some Drake May, I love me some Michael Penix Jr. as well, but in terms of finding a perfect one-for-one fit, especially when you take into account the Vikings didn't have to give up a ton of draft capital to get from 11 to 10. I mean, stylistically, McCarthy's the guy. McCarthy is the guy that fits the best with what Kevin O'Connell wants to do on offense. Between Michigan and the Vikings, there's going to be a lot of play action, a lot of throwing off a boot action, throwing on the move, moving that pocket, targeting the middle of the field, a lot of crossers, a lot of slants, a lot of being able to find your guy in traffic. Also, when it comes down to it, can you stand tall in the pocket? Can you take a shot? Can you hit some of those tight contested windows as opposed to manufactured numbers like in a RPO-heavy offense? Like I said, I do think that McCarthy does fit in best for what this team wants to do long term. I think that if you look at Williams, Daniels, and May, I mean, top 3 picks, there's a lot of pressure for them to play right away. And also, I'm not buying Jane Daniels with Cliff Kingsbury. I don't buy Cliff Kingsbury with anyone, man. And Caleb, I mean, yeah, he's got weapons, but what about that offensive line outside of right? Don't really trust it. Drake May is going to have to play right away, and I don't care what they say. I think that he will be bayed. I don't know. May is one of the quarterbacks who needs to sit for a year, maybe 2, but he's not going to get that luxury. Penix is in a bad spot because he's ready to play now. So is what it is. And Bo Nix, speaking of manufactured numbers, I mean, Bo Nix is the poster child for that at Oregon. But I absolutely love me some JJ McCarthy, and I think he's going to do great. And respect to June Jones for calling a spade a spade. But your thoughts are thoughts. Coaching legend June Jones thinks that JJ McCarthy is going to be the best quarterback in this class. Woo woo. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts and his thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.